Good evening to one and all. A warm welcome to 80th International Workshop on Great Life Lessons from Mahakavi Kalidas under Golden Jubilee Year of NEHU, May 2022 to May 2023 International Workshop Series. A series of programs with the highest number and the best of ability every Saturday 5 to 7 p.m. Jointly organized by Internal Quality Assurance Cell IQAC, Northeastern Hill University, NEHU, Shillong, Meghalaya, and Indian Society for Training and Development ISTD, Shillong Chapter, Shillong, Meghalaya, in collaboration with the Department of Philosophy and IQAC Moran College, affiliated to Dibrugarh University, MORANHAT, ASSAM, and Department of Philosophy, Sri VENKATESWARA University, TIRUPATI, ANDHRA Pradesh. A warm welcome to today's keynote speaker, my guru and collaborator, Professor P. Chennai Sir, Department of Philosophy, Sri VENKATESWARA University. Professor Prabhasankar Sikla Sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Shillong. Professor Raja Reddy Sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, SVU Tirupati. Professor A.S. Dikshit Sir, Registrar, Director, IQAC, NEHU. Professor Mithali Kaur Ma'am, Principal, Moran College. Dr. Srutasani Gugoi Madam, Workshop Coordinator, Head Department of Philosophy, and IQAC Coordinator, ISS Coordinator. Professor B.S. Mipun Sir, Chairman, ISTD, Shillong Chapter, and noble participants. A warm welcome to senior teachers, researchers, research scholars, students, policymakers, and administrators. Great life lessons from Mahakavi Kalidas, belongs to 4th and 5th century. So wonderful poet and playwright, extraordinary. That's why the people, they call him Indian Shakespeare. He is a great poet, writer in Sanskrit literature. Professor Chennai Sir suggested it is better to organize one program on Mahakavi Kalidas, even Meghaduts. Still, I remember during my school days in Hindi language, I studied about Meghadut Kalidas. I have a second language, Hindi, in intermediate and degree also. There are n number of things, even how the Kalidas took many things in Ramayana and Mahabharata, in the romantically, lovely, written and expressed. Even sometimes, maybe war scenes are also in his writings. At the same time, but maximum is love and romance. There is a need to know type of relationship, family and attachment, love, bondage, n number of things we can learn during that time, and how much he has imagination capacity to derive the characters. So Professor Chennai Sir, I'm eagerly waiting to listen from Professor Chennai Sir along with our noble participants. As usual, we start our program with Vande Mataram. A warm welcome to one another.
Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram, Sujalam Sukhalam, Malayaj Sheetalam, Sasya Syamalam Mataram, Vande Mataram, Shubhra ज्योत्स्नापुले पुल्लकुसुमित द्रुमदलशोभिनी सुहासिनी सुमधुरभाषिणी सुमातरं वन्दे मातरम्.
Thank you. I'm requesting Professor Chennaya sir to deliver keynote address. Over to you, sir.
Respectable coordinator Dr. Amaresh sir, with the organizer for this program and who is organizing well these programs, and all the participants of the program. So here today I'm supposed to talk on great philosopher, poet, writer, uh, 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 Kalidasa. So he has written many books in the Sanskrit literature, Kumara, Samudra, Sakundal, Malavita, Mitram, Rahumsa, so many other things. So he born in the 5th century during a Gupta's period. So here we find many great aspects relating with life, how to live. So Kalidas said, how to live. Yesterday is but a dream. Tomorrow is only a vision. But today, well lived makes every yesterday a dream of happiness, and every tomorrow a vision of hope. So he's telling the past is dead, the future is uncertain, the present is a fresh coin. The present becomes past, the future becomes present. We have always a golden freshness in the present. If you have lived here in the life, very well, then your life will be very beautiful. So human being life is not unlimited. Human being has no unlimited energy. He has no unlimited time. His life is limited. His energy is limited. His time is very limited. So how to live here in the world? If you are living at the present moment with jealousy, anger, with over pride, with egoistic outlook, with unhappiness, what is the use of life? So how to create happiness in the present life? Live in the about your past. You may remember the happiness of your present moments in the past. If you have lived very happily in the present, then on the basis of your present life, you may sense that your future will be a very comfortable one. You may see goodness in the future. So here he's telling love and duty are seen as being at odds with each other. Who is even to pursue love? So here Kalidas is telling love is a very pleasant happy moment. Happy experience. The true love, the feeling of love comes from beyond your mind. Just like if you see the empty flute, you find the emptiness of the flute. If you start producing music through the flute, you may create music out of emptiness in the flute. If you observe, the musical part, but you may produce through your hand movement out of a part musical instrument sound. So the love is coming from beyond your mind, means it is coming from your soul. It is coming from the pure space, pure silence of your consciousness. That's why in your life, love moments are very pleasant. Love moments are moments of the fragrance. So if you enjoy at present the love with nature, people, anything, so you have the love feeling in our consciousness, in our soul, in our pure mind. If you depend on other people, you may get sorrow and suffering. If you look us on the basis of condition and everything, on the situational basis, you may get happiness. So here, so where is a love, there is a sharing. Where there is a sharing, there is a caring. Where there is a caring, there we find respect and happiness. So respect. Don't forget the feeling of the love. Use your love without having any attachment, without having any possessiveness. Give your love with the total freedom. Give your love without any expectation. Then you find beauty and fragrance in the love affair and a love feeling. So here, one who is a blind throws away uh, even a garland of flower placed on his head, thinking it is a snake. So here, if you are in the living of illusion and hallucination, if you are not seeing any good thing, you may not know the actual things of the life. That's why if you give your love to a person who is not in a position to receive your love, a person who is not feeling on you, a person who has jealousy, hatred, happiness, and ill feeling on you, if you throw your love on somebody who is very humble, it is just throwing water on a hot iron plate. If you throw a cool water on a hot iron plate, you don't find the movement of the water. It may evaporate immediately. In the same manner, if you throw your love on somebody who is not very favorable to receive your love, but your love feeling itself creates unhappiness to you, may not exist on that place, on that person. That's why keep your love in yourself and throw or spread your life love just like a breeze in the nature. Don't expect anything. If you expect anything in the love, automatically you may get sorrow. So here, love without expecting is a one. Love without any desire is a joyful one. That's why so here please subdue the anguish of your soul. Nobody is destined only to happiness or to pain. The wheel of life takes up and down. So he's telling the happiness and unhappiness are there in the human being existence. Sometimes you may have happiness, sometimes you don't find any happiness. So these are self-centered things. So here, where there is a desire, where there is a ambition, where there is a too much egoistic outlook, there you don't find any happiness. So the deepest affection of the affection of often hits upon the specific remedy. So if you have a love affair with anybody or a society or a job or anything, automatically this love feeling will find a solution for any problem relating with your lover, your loved institution, loved job and everything. So always love the other person. Excessive affection suspects the evil will happen to the lover. That's why. So if you have more affection relating with some people, if they are going with unlimited excessive manner in the behavior, they may suspect that some people may curse you. Some people may give some bad ideas on you. That's why be balanced, be harmonious. Don't have too much things relating with life. By your own self, you come to know yourself. So knowing yourself is a enlightenment. What do you mean knowing yourself? So you are a soul, you are not a body, you are not a mind. So you are soul has yourself as the quality of awareness, observation, witness, watchfulness, so alertness. So you have to watch your thoughts, just watching, sitting on the side of the road. You may get bliss and happiness. For that, you have to go inner journey. So we have two types of journeys. So outer journey and inner journey. The outer journey is a journey for scientific investigations in the external world. Another is a inner journey. So inner journey is a journey to know about your actual soul. Inner journey is related with the mind, your thoughts. So here in the scientific world, we find a method that so be it If you find the actual fact, then you have to conclude. In the same manner, in the inner world also, you have to move very carefully without any belief, without any judgment. If you go with a complete mindfulness in our inner mind, you may know about yourself. If you go outer world, you may discover prosperity, the good become humble. So if you have good things, the humble person may be very positive, relating with all good things. All men are like to think favorably of themselves. So here in the philosophy of Kalidasa, we find uh, 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 very nicely about efforts directed towards a meaning to end bad fruit. So here you have to take more care about your life and everything. So here Kalidas is telling, be careful about your way of life. So what is the cause for your sorrow and suffering? Here he's telling it is because of qualities one is loud, not because of force. So if you have a good qualities, on the basis of your good qualities, people may love. The meeting of good people with the good people somehow happens only by punya. The fruit of persons, they have a cosmic connection in the past life. If they have done some good things in the past, it may come in the present life because of past life good activities. In this life, good people are moving good people. If good people are meeting with the bad people, automatically the bad the bad will come to the good person. So a fresh water entered the salt sea, automatically the fresh water becomes salt. So here, if a very good person met a very bad criminal, automatic he company of the bad people. So Kalidas is telling, if you have a sorrow, suffering, unhappiness, unpleasantness is there. So what is the cause for this? He is telling, if you have a bad company, bad people company, that itself is the source for your sorrow. So if you have a friendship with a pickpocketers or a murderers or a criminals or a dacoits or a smugglers or a bad type of people, if you have given your phone number to them, are arrested if they show their book, if they found your phone number, so the concerned agencies will come. That's why giving information to bad people itself is a harmful. So if you are meeting with bad people, if you have a company with bad people, you have a harm to you. If any friend has deceived you, any friend has done some very bad thing to you, automatically the friendship will disappear. If you have a love with somebody, if you have a good love feeling with somebody, automatically, if somebody has done any bad thing, any harm, any deception, any lie, any bad activities relating with the affair, automatically the love will disappear. That's why friendship and love are two things. If you protect love and friendship with a pure manner, they may give more joy, happiness to you. In the name of friendship, if you exploit people, if you do some bad thing, if you harm something, automatically the friendship will disappear. In the name of friendship, you may get the sorrow. That's why Kalidas is telling protection of friendship and love, most important thing. Don't give any pollution to the friendship and love. If you give any bad color or a bad effect on the friendship and love, then you will not experience the life. That's why he is telling another thing. So here in the life, in the society, uh, uh, how we get fame in this society. So here you need more protection and more happiness. So Kalidas is telling respect or recognition by men of noble character instills unto one a belief in one's own good qualities. So if any person has good qualities, we call that a quality person is a good person, noble person. He is secularly empty of wealth, knowledge, and good qualities. Or if one loses uh, 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 one if one has no wealth, knowledge, and good qualities, he may lose dignity and respect in this way. We need wealth for our biological and psychological. We need knowledge. At the same time, good qualities. So for a happy life, for a dignity life, respectable life, harmonious life. So Kalidasa is telling and is prescribing that. So have a wealth for your life and have a good knowledge relating with the soul about your inner world, the outer world, about your mind and the external world. Have a good qualities like good behavior, good movements, good thoughts, good actions. Always good in the form of thought, feeling, action. If you go very deeply with a good manner, automatically you may survive with a good manner. So if you lose wealth, knowledge, good bodies, automatically college you, you may lose dignity and respect in the society. So what are the important factors for dignity and respect in the society according to Kalidas? Well, is important. You need job or some income or some, you need knowledge. You have to understand the world about your life. Automatic. Again, you need so good qualities are most important in the human being life. So here the human body is the first instrument for treading the path of dharma. So protect your body. If you have a good body, healthy body, you go very nicely, you know the dharma, righteousness, you know about yourself. Yeah, so Kalidas is telling, have a good body, good mind, good heart, good actions. So accumulate wealth, good knowledge, good qualities. Uh, uh, avoid bad company, bad people. So understand your nature. So protect your love and friendship. So for protection of love and friendship, you need extraordinary intelligence. If you observe very carefully about a human existence, on the basis of your observation, you may know many things. So here so here he's telling sympathy and empathy. So if you have a uh, love and affection for person who is with you. So kindness, love. You need empathy. So you have to understand uh, a person who is not telling anything about himself or herself. You have to know about uh, their background to intuition. If you know other persons, what is right and what is wrong, how you are living. So here Kalidas is telling the soul has external intuition that experience from the soul. Your inner soul is your guru. Your inner soul has a great experience of life. So have a connection with the soul, take guidance from your soul, live very simple manner, always move with the consciousness light. the light of consciousness, the light of awareness, the light of your soul, the light of yourself. So your if you follow the directions of your mind, your body, sometimes you may go in the wrong direction. If you go in the direction of your soul, the highest level of intuition, you will be happily. So your soul, your inner consciousness has extraordinary intuition. So take uh, 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 guidance from your soul. That's why be careful relating with your hotel body. A simple manner, live with the peace and happiness, then your life will be very beautiful. I concluded this speech, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your wonderful keynote address. Now, I'm requesting our noble participant to interact with Professor Chennai, sir, even though network issue are successfully completed. Please, over to the participants. Pawan, sir. Ahmad Safir. Dr. Jipendu Datta. Vidyasagar, sir, please.
Yes, sir. Shafir, sir.
Yes, please, Safir.
Sir, actually, there is a problem with the importance of Indian writers. Actually, Shakespeare lived thousands of years after Kalidasa, but Kalidasa is called Indian Shakespeare. Is this a contradiction?
So here Shakespeare is a Shakespeare and Kalidas is a Kalidasa. The comparison is a fallacy. So, for example, in a garden, we find different plants and a different flower. Every flower is a unique flower. Every flower has a unique fragrance. We find a fragrance relating with the jasmine. We find a fragrance relating with other flowers. So here maybe a 1400 and 1500 area Shakespeare is a dramatist. So he has so here for example you see in the Shakespeare literature, the I will tell you the expressions relating with the Shakespeare. Don't love somebody who is not giving value to it. Don't waste your love or somebody who does not value it. So here you see, don't be a borrower or a lender. So conscience is a watchdog which barks at your sin. So this is a modern English and the period is different. So nobody, so here in the world, human being is, for example, Muhammad Safir is there. Nobody was there just like a Muhammad Safir in the past. The only unique person, Muhammad Safir, is there at present in the world. Nobody will be there in the world. So here in the world of plant or an animal or a human being, No repetition in the creation. Everything is unique, everything is a new, everything is a fresh. So here the comparison relating with that may be an intellectual thought, but every person is a unique, and comparison is not good. So if you compare with somebody, that may be useful for academic sense, but if you compare with somebody, that may be a diluting the dignity of the persons. So Kalidasa is in the 4th and 5th, nearly 1,000 years difference, 4th and 5th century. Maybe he born in the near Madhya Pradesh, Ujjaini area. So he has a great Sanskrit, is a meditator, genius person. So he is a Shakespeare, is a writer, but his period is different, his area is different, his way of life is different, everything. So here everybody is a unique. Nobody is a superior and nobody is a inferior. All human beings have come from the nature and they are going to nature. That's why comparison is not wise. So wherever, for example, religions are there in the world, Hinduism, Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, Jainism. So here, actually, all religions are nothing but brothers and sisters of one family. So one family means human family. Entire world is a human beings family. So human beings have created all religions. So here, if you underestimate one religion, means you are underestimate your brother and sister. You have to know about the true sense of what they are telling. If you have a good mind, you may know many things. That's why here different people, different time, they have contributed a lot in the creative writing. We have to see without any comparison, without any competition, without any thought process. We have to see truth of every person with a unique manner. Then we may appreciate. That's why Shakespeare is a Shakespeare and Kalidasa is a Kalidasa, and everybody is unique, no repetition. So just like leaves are coming from the tree, waves are coming from the ocean, so people are coming from the existence. So here we are the sons and daughters of the nature, so everyone is a unique. That's why we have to see with a unique point of view, freshness, then only we can enjoy Muhammad Safir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Wonderful answer, sir. Thank you. Even I have the
Welcome.
same
Welcome.
opinion, sir.
Yes, yes.
Others, Vidyasagar sir, Pavan sir.
Yes, sir. Namaste, sir.
Namaste, namaste.
Namaste, Kumar.
Namaste, sir. Very good, sir. Very good, sir. That
tell
Kalidasa,
me.
Mahakavi Kalidasa and Shakespeare. Mahakavi Kalidasa and Shakespeare. That how can born? That what is the sole inspiration of secret of philosophy, sir?
Huh? What is the
Mahakavi Kalidasu and Shakespeare. How can born in poet?
see?
How can that foundation to
See,
what sole inspiration of philosophy?
See, actually, so Shakespeare is Shakespeare and Kalidasa, I said. So we find many great things in the Shakespeare. The society is different, life is different, everything. So comparison with Kalidasa and Shakespeare, we may compare, but that is not good. If you want to taste the mango fruit or a plantain, they are different. So if you compare, that comparison may be a comparison, but we don't find any taste or truth. That's why here we can say something about Kalidasa. So Kalidasa got ordinary life, and he moved, he learned many things. So he's a very spiritual person. So he has a great intuition about the life. In the Kalidasa philosophy, in the writings are a Megha Sandesam or Abhignana Sakuntalam or a Kumara Sambhavam or a Megha Duta or Raghu Vamsam. So here in the all scriptures and the writings, we find various types of descriptions, stories, interactions, all the things, but we find the teachings relating with the life. So in the Kalidasa's writings, we find life means don't bother about the thinking about your fast. Don't enter in the fast. Don't, if you are thinking fast means you are going for depression. So you may think that I have lost something, I have not acted something, I have not enjoyed my life, I have not spent very nicely in our fast time. You may got some depression, unhappiness if you remember your fast, according to Kalidasa. So if you avoid the present life, if you think about the future, you may get a fearful condition. So some people said the future is uncertain, future is fearful. You won't get food grains in the future. You won't be happy. So the future is uncertain, past is dead. So here Kalidas is telling, don't remember your past and the future. Act at present, live at present, live here. This moment is the most important. If you enjoy very carefully this moment becomes fast. The next future will come to the present. That's why the present is the all time. Don't bother about things. If you want to live more happiness in the life, live at present. If you are thinking means thinking about your future and the past, automatically sorrow, suffering, anxiety, depression, all psychological evils will come. That's why live at moment. This is the one thing we find in the Kalidasa. At the same time, he is telling relationships. In the life, you have a good relationship with the people, with the good people. If you are good, if you have a good thoughts, good feelings, good actions, good people, automatically through this relationship you will get enjoyment. He is telling, if you are meeting with the bad people, if you are operating bad thoughts, if you are operating bad emotions like jealousy, hatred, worry, all the things, if you are doing bad actions like murder, corruption, beating, harmful things, automatically the bad thought, bad emotion, bad action, bad people, these are the sources for reaching the state of hell in your life. So he's telling two ways of life, a life of heaven and the life of hell. So if you are following anger, violence, destructiveness, harmful things in our life, you are going a way to the hell. If you have a great understanding, awareness, silence, love, beauty, sharing, compassion, you are going to heaven. That's why your actions are most important for your happiness and unhappiness. He is telling, sometimes we find happiness in the life, sometimes we find unhappiness. If you are moving with bad people, bad action, bad thoughts, means you are going very shortly to unhappy life. If you are moving with good way of actions, thoughts, and good people, so he is telling, you have to move with the good people, right people, with the thought, a feeling, and action. Then only your life will be very blissful and happy. So if you are doing with the bad thoughts, actions, and feelings, and you are moving with the bad people, criminals, if you get happiness, if you won't do. So always you have to follow good thing. Another he is telling, in the society, if you want to live with the dignity and respect, so get some skill, accumulate some money on the basis of right way, develop good knowledge relating with the society and the world, develop good behavior, good qualities, automatically you will get dignity and respect. So then your life will be very beautiful. These are some of the central aspects and central qualities, philosophies we find in the philosophy of Kalidasa. Pavan Kumar, Amresh sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Pavan sir.
Next another one more question, sir.
Tell me.
Nowadays, Mahakavi Kalidas and Shakespeare poetry, that how can make them friends, sir, nowadays? What are the psychological training given them?
See, don't compare with anything. I said, so here, your name is Pavan Kumar. The Pavan Kumar, like Pavan Kumar, nobody was there in the past millions of years. Nobody will be there in the future for millions of. Only the Pavan Kumar at present. In the nature, everything is a new, everything is a fresh, no repetition. Every person is a unique. Every person has no connection with the superiority and inferiority. You will find different flowers in the garden. Every flower has a uniqueness. So here, Shakespeare is a unique person. Wonderful things we find in the Shakespeare. Kalidasa is a periods are different, way of life is different. So Kalidasa is a beautiful flower, Shakespeare is a beautiful flower. So they are different persons, they are a creative person, they have done great things for humanity. So their teachings, their literary activities are great sources for our good way of life. You see, in the Shakespeare dramas and everything, some many philosophical things are there. So he is telling, if you have any expectation, expectation is the source for unhappiness. This content is there in the Shakespeare. So here you see the content of Kalidasa. If you are meeting with the bad people, means you are meeting with the ocean of sorrow. So if you are meeting with good people, means you are meeting with the paradise. So here Shakespeare is telling, if you have a love, don't give any person who is not respecting your love. Don't depend on anybody for your love. You have sufficient love in our source. So if you have a sufficient love, if you give love with undesirable people, negative people, they may abuse you, they may scold you, they may dishonor you. That's why you give your love to only a person who is respecting you. So many unique things are there. They are beautiful flowers, beautiful people. Their periods are different. So we have to understand anything without comparison, with the original sense, with the true manner, anything. Then only we will get true understanding in the life. Pavan Kumar. Amaresh sir.
Okay, sir. But nowadays, not born that poetry, that Shakespeare literature, our world. That is the what are the causes, sir?
What is that? What is your question?
And nowadays, sir, that Kalidasa, Mahakavi Kalidasa, and so many poetries that Shakespeare. Nowadays, no, that literature, that aptitude, no. Then how can improve
See,
that basic level to
actually,
LKG to university level?
we have a different type of human category. In the astrology, we have three types of human beings. One is a Daivagana, so godly sense people. Another is a Manushigana, human being nature people. Another is a Rakshasa, a evil type of people. So in the psychological sense, we have gifted, talented, extraordinary, energetic people, one category. Another is a backward, another is a moron and disabled people. So here in the West, we find persons of wisdom, persons of knowledge, persons of wealth. Some people like intuition, extraordinary enlightenment for their life. Some people expect knowledge. Some people expect money, property, and everything. So it is a variety of things. So if you have a hunger, if you want to take breakfast, you may enter in the city or a place where the tiffin shop is there. you may enter with a careful manner, watchful manner to find the hotel to take breakfast. If you are no hungry, if you have no desire to take breakfast, you won't see. So in the same manner, if you want to know great truths given by the Kalidasa or the Shakespeare, you may enter in the YouTube or a Google or a library or somewhere else, because necessity is the mother of invention. If you have a strong motivation, you may know. Here in the different type of people are there in the world. That's why we can't give top equal priority to all people. Some may like. So you see, we are organizing the conferences. Some people may come and some people may ask. So you are interesting. That's why you have come. That's why this is a variety of people. Only some people who are very motivated, they may enter and they may know the knowledge and everything. That's why we can't give any suggestion for all people. All people have different type of attitude, likes and dislikes. Some people like education, some people don't like education. Some people, if you give any good things, they won't like. Some people, if you give bad things, they like. If you, for example, a drunkard is there, if you say the poisonous thing, they may come and they may try to give violence to you. That's why be wise. So if you want to know anything, you may learn. Otherwise, observe silently. Amresh sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your wonderful explanation. Anyone else? Bhupesh Debarma sir from Tripura, Srinivasan Reddy from Telangana, Vidyasagar sir from Maharashtra, Pune. Anyone else? Okay. Sir, I read some story during my school days how Kalidasa became Mahakavi. So, is it true, sir, that the story because of Kali Krupa only he became extraordinary person like that?
See, there is a story at the beginning stage of Kalidas' life. So, it may be a true or false, we don't know. He ascended a tree. He has gone to top of the branch and he start a weapon, a instrument, cutting instrument. He tried to cut the front part of the branch and he is in the top. If he cuts the branch, he may down to the earth. So here, just going to the branch of any plant, the top line and cutting the front portion means, so falling the free branch and the person to the earth simultaneously. So it has happened, but after meditation or a prayer or a devotion with a Kali. So here Purusha and Prakriti, nature and consciousness. So here Kali, Shiva and Parvati. So Purusha and Prakriti. So energy center. So he got great access, devotion to Kali, prayer, puja, devotion. So he got enlightenment through meditation, Amresa. So he entered very deeply. In the beginning stage, he lived with unconscious manner. He has no total awareness at the beginning stage. That is a one stage. That is the unripe state of life. After some time, on the basis of planetary condition, he started to watch one's own mind. He learnt very nicely the teachings, language, education from right teachers. Then separately he started deeply psychologically meditation. So he entered with that. He got a creative mind. Then he used the literature. Through his inner consciousness, he created all the literary writings, Amresa, Kumara Sambhavam, all the things. So, so meditation is there in his life. So good learning is there in the life. Observation is there in the beginning stage. Lack of awareness. He has done some things. We may not call they are good or bad or any negative things. It has happened. But when he was cutting a tree, some people have come. So why you are cutting this? If you cut this branch, you may fall. Are you a wise person or a foolish person? Why you are doing this? Somebody asked. So it is in the one river bed, one tree there, and he has gone to that plant and that tree and cutting that branch. And somebody is asked, "Oh, are you a wise man? Are you what type of person? Are you good man? What happened to you? You are cutting your front portion of your branch. You come down to the river, you may die. So what happened?" Some people asked. So then after listening this voice, he started introspection. So meditative outlook relating with life. After some time, he entered in the temple, Ujjaini temple, and he had a very devotional outlook. He started meditation. He got enlightenment through meditation, Amresa. Watching meditation. So, if you observe clearly all the writings and messages, he's a great meditator. He's an observer. He's a good learner. He has a great liking for understanding writing. He practiced everything. So, he's a very practical person. He lived with a simple manner. Through awareness of one's own soul, he got the purification, enlightenment, and intuition. Through that, he got Amritsar. So, through constant learning and rectification of errors, so developing knowledge with the external world, at the same time developed creativity with own awareness. These things, two things we find in the clearly, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your wonderful address and deliberations. So, with your permission, may I go for presentation, sir?
Okay, please move, Amresh, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, Professor Chennai sir and noble participants. Great life lessons from Mahakavi Kalidas. The outline of the presentation: introduction, learning outcome, and conclusion. Learning great life lessons from Mahakavi Kalidas for a fruitful life. Before going to actual topic, it is our duty to learn something from Lord Buddha. So Buddhist teachings, everything that has a beginning has an ending. N number of quotes, N number of teachings, N number of stories are available from Buddhism, Lord Buddha's teaching directly and indirectly. A small video for you. 5 minutes short video.
Everything that has a beginning has an ending. Make your peace with that, and all will be well. The whole secret of existence is to have no fear. Never fear what will become of you. Depend on no one. Only the moment you reject all help are you freed. If you are quiet enough, you will hear the flow of the universe. You will feel its rhythm. Go with this flow. Happiness lies ahead. Meditation is the key. Those who remain unmoved by the wind of joy silently follow the path. Buddha means awareness, the awareness of body and mind that prevents evil from arising in either. To go from mortal to Buddha, you have to put an end to karma, nurture your awareness, and accept what life brings. An awakened person is someone who finds freedom in good fortune and bad. Neither God nor man can foresee when an evil deed will bear its fruit. Life and death are important. Don't suffer them in vain. The essence of the way is detachment. Not creating delusion is enlightenment. The mind is always present. You just don't see it. Delusion means mortality and awareness means Buddhism. Only one person in a million becomes enlightened without a teacher's help. The ultimate truth is beyond words. Doctrines are words. They are not the way. And as long as you are subject to birth and death, you will never attain enlightenment. In order to see a fish, you must watch the water. As long as you are enthralled by a lifeless form, you are not free. Not suffering another existence is reaching the way. To seek is to suffer. To seek nothing is bliss. As mortals, all natures are pure. You can't know your real mind as long as you deceive yourself. All know the way, but few actually walk on it. Freeing oneself from words is liberation. Not engaging in ignorance is wisdom. Regardless of what we do, our karma has no hold on us. To give up yourself without regret is the greatest charity.
Right. Very nice quotes from Buddhism. Genius are not born but made. This is a small story regarding Mahakavi Kalidas.
It is said that genius is 99% perspiration and 1% inspiration. Somebody who is willing to keep on trying hard becomes a success. Mahakavi Kalidas the great poet of Sanskrit literature. How did he ascend to that mastery over Sanskrit language? We have all heard the story. It is said he was so grossly dull in his intellect that he was sitting on the same branch that he was cutting. He didn't even realize that he will fall down with it. And there was this Rajkumari princess who was very scholarly. For her marriage, she had laid a condition. I will only marry that man who can defeat me in Shastrat, scriptural debate. So big scholars came, they endeavored. She would defeat all of them. So these pundits became annoyed. They said, we will teach her a lesson. Let's get her married to a gross fool. They went around looking and they found Kalidas cutting the tree's branch. They said he's a fit candidate. They got hold of him and told him, look, you don't open your mouth. We will get you married to the princess. So they tied a big turban around him and they brought him and told the Rajkumari that he is a big scholar. But in present, he is observing Maun Vrat, the vow of silence. So this Shastrarth, scriptural debate, will have to be only by actions. The Rajkumari said, all right. She lifted one finger. Kalidas, he thought, what is she trying to tell me? He lifted two fingers. He thought she's saying, I'll break one of your eyes. So he said, I'll break your both eyes. The Pandits asked her, what was your question? She said, my question was, is the supreme entity one or many? So they said, you know what he was trying to say was that he is both Sakar and Nirakar, with a form and formless. That is why he said two. Now the Rajkumari, she lifted her hand, 5 fingers like this. Kalidas thought she's saying, I'll slap you. So he showed his fist, I'll give you a box. Pandit said, what was your question this time? She said that the 5 senses are troubling us. What is the solution? They said what he was meaning was, with the help of the mind, you have to control them. So in this way, they debated and they defeated her together. Now she got married to this mood, this foolish Kalidas. After marriage, they were sitting on the palace when a camel was going from there. Seeing the camel go by, Kalidas said, Uttara, Uttara, Uttara. Rajkumari thought that, is he so illiterate he cannot even speak properly? She pushed him from the top of the stairway and Kalidas went rolling down, fell on the ground with a thud. But that insult, he decided to put it to good use. There was a temple of Mother Kali. He offered his respects and vowed that he will become a scholar and come back. He got up and went to Kashi, the city of scholars. He studied there like there was no yesterday and no tomorrow. And he became well versed in Sanskrit language. When he came back after a few years, he knocked on the door and said, Kapatam Dwaram Dehi. My dear wife, open the door. She heard, she recognized. So she said, Asti Kaschit Vag Vishesha. Seems like you have become a great scholar with great proficiency over speech and writing. So those 3 words she uttered, Asti, Kaschit and Vag Vishesha, Mahakavi Kalidas wrote 3 Mahakavyams starting from each of these 3 words. So how did he reach that point? Through endeavor, through effort. Similarly, this process of spirituality requires us applying ourselves to it. So practice is important.
Wonderful story. So practice makes man perfect. There is nothing is impossible. So we can do it anything with practice, previous knowledge, and past experience. So simply about Mahakavi Kalidas is one of the poets among Navaratnas of Emperor Vikramaditya. You can see these are Navaratnas. Now means nine scholars. So this is Kalidas. Who is Mahakavi Kalidas? Kalidas, your 4th to 5th century, was a classical Sanskrit author who is often considered ancient India's greatest poet and playwright. His plays and poetry are primarily based on the Vedas. Already I told Ramayana, Mahabharata. His surviving works consist of 3 plays, 2 epic poems, and 2 shorter poems. Here, Abhignana Shakuntalam, Shakuntala and Ring of Recognition, there is a movie in Telugu language also, very nicely. Even, and Vikramarvasi and Malavika Mitra. There are n number of writings. Raghuvamsha is the best epics of Kalidas. From Kumara Sambhava also. Delicate descriptions of nature are mingled with the battle scenes. Actually, his poems and his writings focused on love, nature, battle, sacrifice. The other poems of Kalidas are shorter and almost purely lyrical. Interesting facts about Mahakavi Kalidas. Maybe many of authors or teachers, they know because of lack of Sanskrit language, always translation is available from one language to another language. But interesting facts about Mahakavi Kalidas. So already in the previous videos, also we got he lived during Gupta King Chandragupta II, Chandragupta Vikramaditya. We can also say Kalidas is known as the Prince of Indian poets. After keynote address, Professor Chennai sir rightly pointed out while giving answering to Safir, maybe intellectuals they compared his Indian Shakespeare like this, but everyone is unique. Kalidas' notable works include 3 plays already we mentioned. The inscriptions in which Kalidas was mentioned are Aihole inscriptions and Hanamakonda inscriptions. In archaeology, the Department of Archaeology are at the national level, at the state level, many, even Assam, Dr. Sutusani Gogoi madam also recently attended one international conference on archaeology related topics. So they are always finding the historical evidence. The first Indian drama ever to be translated into Western language was Abhignana Shakuntalam. So after really they surprised, this is a small story regarding Kalidas. In general, for children also, we are using animation videos to enhance their knowledge and skills.
The story of Kalidas. King Sudhanman ruled the state of Madhumantam. His daughter Vidyavati excelled not only in the beauty but also in the mastery of all the sciences and arts. The king one day decided to get his daughter married.
By God's grace, she must get a good husband.
All are hereby informed that whoever is able to defeat the beautiful princess in a debate will be eligible to marry her. This is the king's order. From the day this announcement was made, many scholars and pandits from various places arrived to engage the princess in debate. The debate began in the court hall, but every one of the scholars who participated in the debate saw defeat at the hands of the princess. They departed in humiliation.
What a shame, after all, to be defeated by a mere girl. No doubt, she won in debate, but she spoke insultingly and humiliated us. That is what I am unable to bear. What arrogance!
Even Ambarisha, her teacher, was pained at the way she had dealt with the scholars. So that night, he consulted the other court poets. They all felt that she is very arrogant and rude. They decided to bring down her pride. They planned to find out a confirmed idiot and marry her to him. Thus only, her impertinence can be removed. In search of a filtered fool, Ambarisha and the other scholars went beyond the city limit.
Ah, look at that. A shepherd is cutting the branches of the tree to the leaves for his sheep.
Ha! The fool is sitting at the tip of a branch and cutting the stem end of the branch. Ambarisha and the other scholars then tempted the utter idiot who was hacking away at the root of the branch. They decorated him grandly and took him with great pomp and show along the city streets. The king welcomed this king of poets grandly. That night, the fool was ordered to keep his nonsensical mouth shut, else he would be beheaded. He agreed as he was told. Next morning, in the court hall, the princess sat on one side and the false poet on the other. The princess held up one finger to indicate that the supreme truth is one only. The shepherd poet held up two of his fingers. This was interpreted by Ambarisha to mean that there are two ultimate entities, the supreme God and the individual soul. The princess was impressed by this gesture. She decided to marry this false poet, unknowing the truth. The plan of the court scholars bore fruit. The marriage of the princess with shepherd was celebrated grandly. That night in the inner chamber, the princess was shocked to see her husband lying bare-bodied on the floor instead on the cot. She sprinkled some rose water to wake him up.
Chi Chi, go away! The drops are falling on me.
Taken aback, the princess forcibly woke him.
Who are you? Tell the truth.
I shall tell everything. Don't hurt me.
Vidyavati, on learning about all that had happened, went and cried before the goddess.
Why this trial for me, who has been worshipping you all along, O Mother of Universe? Don't be perturbed. Now it is night. You send your husband to the Kali temple. Goddess Kali will bless him.
Oh, mother, I shall live only if you give me the boon, else I shall end my life here.
Listen, protrude your tongue. I shall write on your tongue with my spear. You will become a great poet and also my devotee.
The instant the shepherd received Kali's grace, he became a great poet and composed the lovely hymn known as Shyamala Dandakam. Since then, he was renounced as Kalidas. Hearing about the fame of Kalidas, King Bhoja sent for him a special invitation. Taking leave from his wife, he left to Dharanagar. Kalidas thereafter shone in King Bhoja's court as a world-famous poet. Thereby, King Bhoja's fame also spread. He composed many great poems like Megha Sandesam, Sakuntalam, Kumara Sambhavam, Raghuvamsam, and many more.
So very nice. This is true what Professor Chennai sir also mentioned the same thing. The previous Mukundananda also. I am always watching the videos of Mukundananda and learning a lot. The great quotes of Kalidas.
Today well lived makes every yesterday a memory of happiness and every tomorrow a vision of hope. Misfortune finds the weak spot. Be slow to love, yet be more slow with secret mate. With those whose hearts we do not know, love turns to hate. Gentlemen are those who fulfill the expectations of others without saying anything, in the same way as the sun spreads its light in every house. A good man never lets grief get the upper hand. The mountains are calm even in a tempest.
So these quotes are very, very useful for students, scholars, teachers, and everyone for a fruitful life. Some more quotes. Right, very nice. From these notes, really, we got great things. Self is very, very important. So, imagination, your mind, follow your heart. So, whatever you want to do, time, don't waste time. Things, believe yourself, self. That's why motivation. So, what you are doing, like it, love it. Our 5 L's model of education, myself and Dr. Sutasini Madam, like, love, learn, live, and live. Professor Chennai sir, you can see hundreds of keynote addresses. It is impossible for a normal teacher, normal scholar. So we are doing without any expectation. There is no financial support from anybody. We are not collecting any registration fee, but we want to do something because we are doing heartfully. That's why these programs never become a burden for us. To organize these programs, I'm traveling almost 22 kilometers up and 22 kilometers down, means almost 44 kilometers. I'm coming and organizing, I'm again going back. So this is a commitment, like love. It's just giving a simple example. Dr. Srutasuni Madam also, she is working as an NSS coordinator, IQAC coordinator, and many other roles. Professor Chennai sir, no keynote speaker will, after delivering keynote address, stay up to end of the program. But sir always watching, guiding us and giving suggestions, motivating others, clarifying. There is no single such type of program. Sir is maybe taken us even less than 1 minute time to answer the query or any clarification raised by the participants. So at the end, so we are going to finish off. This is, I think, 10 minutes. Shakuntala, the book summary in English before concluding, going to conclude our.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a new episode of Great Books in 10 Minutes. By the end of this episode, you will know everything about the beautiful Indian love story of Shakuntala. Shakuntala, or the recognition of Shakuntala, is a beautiful story of love and enlightenment that takes its readers to a heartwarming journey where honesty and faith overcome separation and sorrow, and the light of love shines through the darkness of wickedness and jealousy. The story of Shakuntala originally appears in the epic of Mahabharata as a precursor to the Pandava and Kaurava lineages. Later, the great Indian author Kalidasa, who was greatly influenced by the ancient Indian epics such as Mahabharata and Ramayana, turned it into a beautiful play that to this day has captured the imagination of the world and has become one of the most sought-after classics. The main themes of Shakuntala are spirituality, love, duty, honesty, and faithfulness. The story of Shakuntala starts in the forests of Hastinapura in northern India, where King Dusyanta chases after a deer in a hunt. Right when the youthful king is about to release his arrow and slay the deer, a sage stops him and tells him that the deer belongs to a hermitage nearby, and that as a king his duty is to defend the innocent, not to kill them. The king respects the spiritual man's wish and spares the deer's life. In response to this merciful action, the sage prays for the monarch and prophesies that he will have a son that will rule the world. Then he suggests that the king should visit the nearby ashram of sage Kanva, where the deer belongs. When the royal chariot nears the monastery, the king removes his crown and wears regular clothing to look modest. As he enters the sacred grove, a vein throbs in his arm, an omen foretelling a beautiful woman's charm. At this moment, 3 girls arrive at the groves to water the trees. The king hides in the shadows to observe the girls, and right away he's blown away by the beauty of one of them, named Shakuntala. The girls playfully attend to the trees. Suddenly, a bee frightens Shakuntala, and her friends, seeing her disturbed, jokingly say that she should call on King Dusyanta for help. Right at this moment, the king steps out of his hiding place and makes his presence known to the girls. Without knowing who the newly arrived stranger is, Shakuntala falls in love with him at first sight. One of the girls asks the king who he is, and the king answers that he is the new minister of religious welfare, and he's there to make sure that the monastery is well taken care of. The king, who is under the impression that Shakuntala is the daughter of the sage of that ashram, asks how is it possible that a sage could have any child. One of the girls answers that the sage is only Shakuntala's spiritual father, and that her true biological parents are a royal sage and a nymph. Dusyanta asks Shakuntala if she is eager to end her vow of chastity and marry, which makes the girl angry. The king, seeing his question making Shakuntala uncomfortable, gives his ring to her and relieves her of her hospitality duties. Suddenly, his men arrive and tell him that the royal entourage has caused an elephant to go berserk in the sacred grove and that he must go and help with it. Dusyanta cannot get Shakuntala out of his head, and his privileged royal life becomes a joyless labor without her. Her beauty has left such a lasting impression on the king's mind that in his eyes everything pales in comparison to her mesmerizing gaze. Next, two messengers from the ashram arrive at the king's camp and tell Dusyanta that evil spirits have attacked the monastery and that Shakuntala's father, Sage Kanva, is asking for the king's help to protect the sacred grove and preserve the holy rituals. Dusyanta, hoping to see Shakuntala again, accepts the challenge and goes back to the monastery. The king's spiritual power expels the demons from the ashram and allows the holy rituals to continue uninterrupted. After performing his duties, Dusyanta goes to the same orchard that he first met Shakuntala at, and once again hides behind the trees to gaze at his beloved. Shakuntala, who has fallen madly in love with Dusyanta, rests under a tree while her friends ask her about the reason behind her recent unhappiness. After revealing the symptoms of her pain and suffering, they tell her what she's experiencing is love and that she is heartsick for someone. Shakuntala replies that from the moment that she met Dusyanta, she has been impatient to see him again. One of her friends suggests that Shakuntala must write a love poem for Dusyanta to let him know about her feelings. Shakuntala composes a beautiful poem on the spot and writes it on a lotus leaf with her nails. Then she recites the poem for her friends. When the king hears the poem, he loses his patience and reveals his presence to the girls at the garden. Seeing this, Shakuntala's friends leave and allow their friend and Dusyanta to be alone. The king then tells Shakuntala who he really is and that he is madly in love with her too. Once they proclaim their feelings for one another, their love constitutes a marriage between Dusyanta and Shakuntala, and they secretly become husband and wife. After a few months, it is time for the king to return to the capital. Before going back, the king tells Shakuntala to wait for her father to come back from a trip and then join him at the palace to make their marriage public and officially announce it. As days pass by, Shakuntala, who is still waiting for her father to return, becomes more impatient, which causes her to neglect her everyday duties. One day, an old sage named Durvasus arrives at the ashram and, expecting the usual hospitality that is afforded to the men of cloth at a monastery, announces his arrival. Shakuntala, being deep in her thoughts, ignores the sage's call and forgets to honor him. The short-tempered sage loses his composure and puts a curse on Shakuntala and tells her that the man who loves her shall never remember her again. At this moment, one of Shakuntala's friends rushes to her help, and after honoring the sage and apologizing for Shakuntala's inattentiveness, begs him to lift the curse. The sage concedes that the curse will be over only when the king sees a token of Shakuntala's love or an object that was given to her by him. Shakuntala's friend reminds her of the ring that Dusyanta gave to her when they first met and tells her to remember to take it with her to the palace in case the curse was real and the king had forgotten about her. While in deep meditation, Shakuntala's father, Sage Kanva, hears a voice congratulating him on her daughter's marriage to King Dusyanta, and that he must give his blessing to their union because she's now carrying the child that will rule the world. Hearing the voice, Kanva sends a messenger to the ashram and lets Shakuntala know that she has his blessing to join her husband at the palace. Next, the trees of the forest bless Shakuntala by miraculously providing her with ornaments to wear for her wedding. At the palace, the youthful king, who is now bewitched, hears a song that fills him with both desire and sorrow. Surprised by the overflow of emotions, he wonders why he has suddenly lost his composure when he's not even separated from anyone he loves. Next, Shakuntala and her companions arrive at the palace and tell the king that the bride's father has granted his blessing and he can now receive his wife without worry. The king, baffled by their claims, does not remember Shakuntala and tells them that he has never met a girl named Shakuntala, let alone marrying her. Shakuntala desperately tries to clear her name and remind Dusyanta of their relationship, but the king continues to act like he has never met her. At this moment, Shakuntala looks for the king's ring and realizes that it is not on her finger and it has been lost. Wondering what to do with the girl, the king consults with the court's priest and decides to give shelter to Shakuntala until her baby is born. If the child is truly Dusyanta's, then he will bear the divine sign of a future king on his body. Meanwhile, heartbroken by the king's rejection, Shakuntala prays and begs the earth to swallow her up. Suddenly, a light shines upon her and carries her away to another realm. When the news of her disappearance reaches Dusyanta, he gets anxious and questions his behavior towards Shakuntala and asks himself if she truly was his wife. Next, a fisherman finds the king's lost ring inside a fish's belly and brings it to the court. Upon seeing it, the king remembers Shakuntala and is instantly plunged into remorse and depression. Days pass and the king's mental state deteriorates to the point that everyone says he has caught the Shakuntala fever. One day, a demon attacks the palace and tries to capture the king's confidant. When Dusyanta rushes to his aid, the charioteer of the king of gods, Indra, appears and tells him that an invincible breed of demons have assembled to take over the world and he must defeat them. Hearing this, the king obeys the divine command and embarks on his heavenly campaign. 6 years later, Dusyanta successfully crushes the demonic army and is on his way back to his kingdom. While flying to earth on Indra's chariot, suddenly the king sees the golden peak of the mountain of gods. Dusyanta feels an invisible force dragging him to that place and asks the charioteer to take him there to honor Marika, Indra's celestial father. Upon arriving at Marika's holy hermitage, like the first time that he met Shakuntala, a vein in Dusyanta's arm throbs. The king remembers his desire to reunite with her and painfully tells himself that he has forever lost the fortune that was once the love of his life. Right at this moment, he sees a little boy playing with a lion cub at the temple. The king is surprised by the sense of connection that he feels towards the boy, and after observing him for a few moments, he realizes that he carries the sign of a future king. The boy's servant tells the king that his bloodline goes back to the kings of the Puru lineage, who are Dusyanta's family, and that his mother was allowed to give birth to him at the heavenly temple because she is the daughter of a nymph. Upon hearing this and finding out that the name of the boy's mother is Shakuntala, the king rejoices and realizes that this must be the end of his search for his wife. Right at this moment, the boy drops his protective amulet and the king picks it up. The servants tell the king that he must be the father of the boy because the necklace can only be picked up by the boy's real parents. The king is still in awe that Shakuntala enters. Dusyanta immediately recognizes his wife, but Shakuntala does not recognize him. Dusyanta tells her that the curse has come full circle since now it is he that needs to be recognized by her. Shakuntala then recognizes Dusyanta and breaks down in tears. Dusyanta tells her how the ring was returned to him and offers it to his wife again, but Shakuntala refuses it and asks the king to wear it himself. Next, Dusyanta, Shakuntala, and their son go to ask Marika for his blessing. Marika bestows his blessing upon them and tells the king that his son will in fact become a universal emperor. Then he tells them to return to their country and keep the covenant between the kingdom of Indra in heaven and Dusyanta's kingdom on earth strong. Very well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed my summary of Shakuntala. Please.
Right. What a wonderful story. Right. Where was Kalidasa died? Yeah, Sinhalese means Sri Lanka. Tradition says that he died on the island of Sri Lanka during the reign of Kumaradasa, who ascended the throne in 517. A more persistent legend makes Kalidasa one of the 9 gems, means Navaratnas, one among the Navaratnas at the court of fabulous king Vikramaditya of Ujjain. So this type of great scholar of Sanskrit passed away on the year 517. So maybe Nabhuto Nabhavashit, it is not possible for only Indians, for anyone also to become such a great scholar in Sanskrit literature. Maybe is the what Professor Chennai sir provided one nice example of Pavan sir. There is no Pavan earlier and no Pavan in future also. You are the only one in the same way. So Kalidasa is always great, and his lessons, even that video quotes are really continuous learning, knowledge is power, self is very important, and journey, so many things. So self knowledge and continuous learning. The main motto of programs also to learn continuously, to enhance our knowledge, competency, capabilities for fruitful life. So this is about Kalidasa. These are all myself and Dr. Swatusani madams. Every time new participants are there for them, for the purpose of them only, we are giving. Over to Professor Chennai sir to conclude.
So congratulations, Amresh sir, for your nice presentation. So it is good for us to share good things. So Kalidasa is a person of wisdom. So he said, live moment to moment. Live at now is the central philosophy of Kalidasa. Live at now means live this moment. Live here means live this moment. So not next moment. Every moment is the goal. If you concentrate deeply on this moment, your past will become very good and your future will come very nicely. If you miss this moment at present, at now, then your past will not be happy. Your future will not come with a hope. That's why live moment to moment at present. Then only you will get happiness and fulfillment in the life. This we find in the central philosophy of Kalidasa. So very nice, Amresh sir. Congratulations for your nice presentation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. So with your permission, may I go for vote of thanks, sir. Even Hema madam and others also joined.
Okay.
So if you want to interact only within
Yes.
2 minutes, Hema madam and others. You want to interact with Professor Chennai, sir? Dr. Jayachitra Madam, Dr. Subramaniam Sir, Srinivasan Redana, Dr. Dolly Madam, Bhupesh Debarma Sir. Okay, thank you very much for wonderful
Amaresh sir.
class, deliberations, interactions.
Amaresh sir.
Yes, sir.
So actually, the Kalidasa is telling about the life. You need extraordinary self-motivation to achieve anything. That self motivation will arise only when you know about what you are. You are the soul, you are not the body, you are the mind. So if you know about your soul, the soul will tell what are the functions you have to perform here. So this is the central point in the Kalidasa's life. He has realized his soul through his soul guidance. He has created all the things. Amresh sir, all the best, Amresh sir. Please move.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Really, I also got the same information, same content after watching, after reading his text. So self is very, very important, sir. Because of his willingness, his dedication, his honesty, sincerity only, he becomes scholar from that level to highest level, sir. So everything
Actually,
is
one sentence, Amresh sir. He has given two important sentences in his philosophy. One is, if you are meeting with the bad people, means you are meeting with the ocean of sorrow. So your relationship with the bad people itself is the source for your suffering. Another, he said, if you want to protect friendship, if you want to protect love, be careful. If you are impure activities relating with the friendship and love, the friendship will disappear, the love will disappear. So for a protection of friendship and love, you need extraordinary honesty and purity. This is also one of the central points in the Kalidasa's philosophy, Amresh sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay,
Got
Amresh
it,
sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Yes, Amresh sir.
It gives me immense pleasure to express my gratitude to my own guru, collaborator, keynote speaker, philosopher, Professor Chennai sir. Through his yogic sense only, it is very easily, sir can explain anything. So what Kalidasa's philosophy, even many people, they can think in the literature perspective, poetic perspective, but sir is thinking in philosophical perspective. Philosophy is everything. Philosophy is mother of all sciences. Thank you, sir, for your innovative thoughts, innovative perception to see the truths. Whatever, that's why I'm always using uncovered the covered things. So you are uncovering covered the covered things. So philosophical things of Kalidasa, those teachings, lessons are very useful for our students, teachers, policy makers to enhance their knowledge and continuous learning. Keep on learning is the only source, and with belief and self-confidence. So self is the only source and weapon, whatever you can take. Thank you very much, sir. And we are grateful
Okay.
to our
All the best, Amresh sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. We are grateful to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Prabhasankar Shukla, sir, NEHU, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sri Venkateswara University, Professor Rajareddy, sir, Professor Dikshit, sir, Registrar, Director, IQAC, NEHU, Shillong, Professor Mithali Gova, ma'am, Dr. Swatusini Gogoi, madam, from Moran College for their continuous support, Professor Mipun, sir, ISTD Chairman, Shillong Chapter, and Noble participants, Pawan, sir, and Shafir, Muhammad Safir, for their wonderful interaction with Professor Chennai, sir. As usual, we can meet again on Friday, 14th April at the rate of 75th International Workshop regarding research and publication, and 81st Saturday. Maybe I can fly to Shillong on Sunday. We can see you again the next, maybe after 1 week from Shillong itself, without any, maybe hear some noise because of place where I selected to organize I don't have better place than this. Maybe whatever we have, even from Kalidas, how we learned obstacles. So whatever obstacles, it is better to make it as an opportunity. So here, I myself, in the last week, you can see, maybe you have seen, Friday, Saturday, I was sitting somewhere, but within the same place, I made this one. Whatever problems, we can make it as a opportunity. Thank you very much for your wonderful passion and interaction. Now, national anthem, immediately I can share feedback form to get your certificate. Thank you very much.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Jai Hind, thank you. Please submit your feedback form. YouTube viewers also, please submit your feedback form.